Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. Mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. So that gives me an indication of how much landfill I need to use. Good. Anyhow, if I were to build this here, it would get in the way of the rail. If I build it here, it would totally screw up this output, but do I even care? Because this doesn't need to be an output, right? Because this iron's going to come in here. This copper, I think this copper and this copper are going to get loaded up. This iron is going to get loaded up. So if this were here and blocking, that would be bad. If this were here and blocking, that would be bad. This is too close for me to squeeze that in if that becomes a four-way intersection. So pretty much the only way this is happening is if I put it up facing that way. And the only way this is happening is probably if I put it down and then bring it in on this angle. And this input probably won't even be used. Am I out of landfill again? Oh, and you didn't go back and pick up landfill. No, I'm not out of landfill. It's just that all these bots are stupid and busy. I don't understand why the con bots couldn't build that. They are not servicing these things, and yet they wouldn't go. Because now almost 1,000 con bots took off. I don't understand that. So I wanted to build refining and I wanted to build steel. But I don't want to place everything down because if I do, then the bots just don't get anything done. Bob, it's interesting you mentioned cleanup crews in your neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, it's called city services. I pay an annual fee called taxes, and once a month or once a quarter, the government, whom I'm not a big fan of, comes out and picks up the tarsh, the big bulky stuff. They pick up the other tarsh once a week. Such a depressing song. Not as bad as The Ring. I would say Bob Seger has a song called The Ring. If you want a holy fuck right in the hurts, kind of like listening to Johnny Cash's version of Hurt, go listen to Bob Seger's The Ring and listen to the lyrics. Jesus, that song will give you a hard time. Bob, fair point. Fair point, Bob. You're smarter than me there. And they act like a petty tyrant government, too, by the way. I mean, just my opinion. I could be wrong. No, I'm not. So I was hoping to create an architecture / infrastructure that would give me a semblance of what I'm doing before committing to everything. I've got a couple of basic layouts here. Copper cables plastic and green circuits use a double loader design where they have 2 stations that load things. Other ones use a single loader design. Are these things done being emptied out? Good. Faceless in the way. In my autosaves, I should rename my server to Faceless. So it says server, Faceless is saving the map. Because autosaves are like Faceless. They're really annoying. They get in the way. Every now and again they're useful, but only in a panic situation. You know, when you've got no chance for anything else. That's... I'm going to put some rails on here because there's some places that these things can't reach. I said useful. I didn't say good. Also, welcome, Burgers and Fries. I didn't hear your intro go off. Ah. No, Mucky's rate is good. Well, it sounds like your homeowners association is better than most. Alright, so I've decided I'm going to send this one south. Because it just doesn't line up with anything else. It caused me to have to do weird things. So that little tit there is the speaker, and that's as far south as I can go with these. That was the wrong button to press. That's good enough. Alright, so we're going to connect you to this train station here. Because you are going to go a long ways down like this. I need to make sure I have at least 3 between rail connections. So that I don't get traffic jams. Beer beat. Pre-Karen. Yeah. I mean, I make jokes about the government and how much I don't like them, but they do have a lot of value. No, I think Lycom's on vacation. Well, that would explain that. You full? Good, come back. Oh! Lycom, I am disappointed. Go away. Ah, Mucky to the rescue. Oh, there's the refineries I need too. You guys are such dickheads. Absolute, total jerks. So, like a manager, I just sort of sit here and watch things happen. Oh, I'm at that point, huh? Well, I just sent Lycom away, so. Bye, Mucky. No, really, go away. I don't want to use any of you. I used your rails, though. And other stuff and things. I don't care anymore. Alright, you go away. You don't have a name. I might give that a name to somebody. Do I have a place for these things? I do now. All right, so if you go there, and this ends up being this, this is about where this is going to go. Roughly. And then this is the smelting array, which gets hooked up to it. That's the likely alignment point. So then this goes here. Whew. I went and reset her mice, and she is going at it again. I seem to be missing something on that one. My blueprint, which I cannot edit, is missing a belt. And that sucks. And I can't edit it because I had to edit it in an editor to get all of these. And if I place it down to edit it, I will lose all of these miners. So I'm just going to have to accept the fact that it's got a slight flaw in it for now. And there's going to be a lot of landfill right there. And why is it that cats run so loud? There's supposed to be some landfill going on here, boys. Oh, but you're not going to do landfill, are you? Because everything's filled up, aren't you? And you're out of landfill. Wow. All right, I'll bring you here. But I don't want you requesting all this landfill. I don't want you in the network. I'll clean you out so that your bots stop doing stupid things. But I don't want you using this network because I'm just going to have to go bring that stuff in again. I don't see, because there's coal here and coal here, so I don't see me using this coal. If I did, I'd probably bring it in over here. I don't know. But in the world I live in, I do T-junctions. God, I love it. You bots just failing to execute so badly. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Bunch of morons. So if this were to become the red circuit champion that it could be, that it's not going to be because it's got the old design, it would go here. Well, let's get after that, but won't quite work, but whatever. All right, so let's start with our neck. Put it here. Go up here. Ask ourselves, what the hell are we listening to? Oh, Mamma Mia. I am not used to this song, Smoking. Why is the Reach This stream not refreshed? Why is Reach offline? All right, red circuits is what we're here for. There they are. So we grab the top half of red circuits because it includes the alignment points. And then we grab another one, but we get rid of the robo port. We go take a look at the other because it has the quantities I need. This is going to be 15, so we'll put down 14 and then put the end cap on. So that's 2. There's 3. 5, 7, 9, 13. The end cap is a little different because it has the underbelts and such trimmed off so that I'm not wasting all of that materials trying to go to an edge that doesn't exist. Now, I have these pre-made, but I also have them pre-made. So this is a loader, and it's going to be a loader 4 because these things are getting loaded by 4 different things. So this is generic loader. It takes a 1 to 6 approach for each wagon, and it passes through belts for 4 different materials that need to be fed in. So that's why it's a 4 loader. And pretty much all the unloaders are the same. This is red circuits, so even though it only needs 3 things, I'm feeding it with 4 unloaders, and the reason is I'm feeding it 2 copper cable because the red circuit needs so much copper cable compared to the plastic electronic circuit, relative, that I might as well have 2 unloaders. Now I have specific paths that these belts take. You know, and in order for these to line up nicely, I have A and B on the air quotes outside of this. So if you look at this thing as an independent unit, A feeds the outside, B feeds the outside, and those are the primaries. I called it A and B because if I'm going to do just one material, it's going to be A. If I'm going to do 2, it's A and B. 3 is A, B, and C. 4 is A, B, C, and D. And so when it comes to A is the first unloader, B is the second, C is the third, and D is the fourth. And then the pathing is consistent across all of these. Now, because of where A and C are next to each other, C goes all the way through right? and it's got to go here. And that forces A to do some weird things. And by weird things, I mean, because this is the only way C can get through, right, is this pattern. And allow A to get to the inside, which means that A has a rather weird looking path like that. So there's a reason I do this, is so that I don't have to do it here where there's limited space. So I'm trying to take advantage of the gap space I have between rails to standardize where belts and eventually pipes go, because this will handle pipes or belts. Now, because I refuel trains at unloaders in general, I have a refueling thing here, which is fed by bots. And for consistency, I just skip that gap everywhere, right? So it looks weird to have this here with, why not snug it up to the rail? Because I like to keep my underbelt as short as possible. It's so that I have consistency of these belts. I just am popping these belts at all of these spots, and I don't have to worry about it. It's always the same. Also, once I build one of these, they're all the same, excluding those fuel loaders right here. So if I'm careful what I select, I just grab this, and this whole row is the same. And then I will be doing the same thing here once I finish this part out. Right? So following the design of what I'm doing here with A does this, so everybody does that. Skips one, then goes. So then this is going to get this. Now here we've got the RoboPort in the way. And because the RoboPort's in the way, I have to go with the longer underbelt, which I can assure you don't like, because that's actually a mistake. I've got a mistake there. This needs to go to the outside lane. Hippity dippity. B is the outside lane. Now I've got the same situation here with D. So there's C, so D is going to come along this. And this is why I use templates, by the way. I don't normally just build this on the fly. But we've got the same situation here we had with the interaction with A and C. We have the same type of interaction with B and D. They've got a crossover up here, which you normally, you just take it out, write it down. But if I don't cross B and D here, then over here where I want B on what I call the easier line, then B and D have to cross here. And this is a pretty clean setup. But I can show you some that ain't so clean when you start mixing in like plastic. It's like it gets really challenging, or sulfur. It can get really tough to get the alignment I'm looking for. Sulfuric acid is a real monster acid. So when you look at this, you're like, holy crap, what a disaster. Yes, it is. And in this case, I kind of broke my rules and I sent the water to the far outside in order to try and decrease how much of a mess I had to deal with because of where piping works, and if I delete that, it'll cause a problem because there's no bots. So I try to create a standard design I can just copy paste, but it doesn't always work, and sometimes I forget. So that's going to go there, and then once again, we're going to do the skip one. And I try and standardize these things so that I don't think about them later on, so that I can play for longer. And so here was the indicator that I had a mistake, is that I should not have had to have crossed that RoboPort. Smithy, oi oi. Yeah, oi oi is appropriate. We got raided by the Aussie and Aussie. And then these should just be copyable. Again, excluding the fueling. I have to be careful not to copy the fueling. McKay's Plays. I was watching you last night. I enjoy your show so much. I didn't get to see Daniel Craig dance, though. I was kind of disappointed I didn't get that triggered. It's my second favorite thing on your channel. My favorite is hearing Tiffy laugh. So I can get rid of this. Now, station names are all generic, right? This is just a train stop loader. And these are just train stop unloaders, all solids. The chest indicates it's a solid. I have markers for fluid unloaders too. So here's a fluid unloader, right? Simple fluid unloader. And its train stop name is a fluid unloader. But what I have done... I enjoy that. What I have done is over here in my factory that builds everything is that I have pre-built a bunch of rope stations here for the materials I need. So these are the fluids on the right, and these are the solids on the left, and the unloaders on the left, right, and the loaders on the left, left. So this is going to be red circuits. So that's going to get, I'm going to copy that out there so I can just copy and paste once. I need red copper cable, and I need green circuits, and I need plastic. And I need plastic. There's a plastic loader. So that gets me the 3 materials, and the loader, which I can then take back over to my scratch area, temporarily place down here, and then put in place. Loaders have now I gotta figure out where I want what. Loaders have a blue color, unloaders have a red color. Red when it's out of stuff to unload, blue when it's ready to be loaded up. All right, so I want to put the copper cable on A and B because it's going to have the most consumption and it has the simplest insertion. So A and B are copper cables, so that's this and this. We're going to do green next for why not, and we'll do plastic on the far end. So that completes red circuits for here. We'll give it the 22nd. We'll select new contents. So this is a new design different than what I had last week. Already made improvements. We don't want any landfill. We don't have any landfill. As a marker that I've updated it, I move this to some other spot. Good. And then I clear almost all of this off. And leave that as a marker for my next one. So there's no bots flying all over the place. They are complaining about some things. There are quite a few complaints, so I kind of want to take care of those to get these bots to not choke up the system. So that's a bunch of furnaces. Note, I pronounced it as you desired. I need a bunch of pipes, tanks, not so many pumps. Unfortunately, I've sent some trains away. I need to call them back now that they're full. Even you, buddy. Even you big hauler. Alright, what have you got that I can use? Don't need the rail right now. Large power pole. Nope. Ooh, yeah, baby. Give me that. I don't know how many more pumps and tanks I need, so I'm going to hold off on unloading those. Now I need these furnaces, and I can't tell how many furnaces I need right now, so I'm going to do this to look at it. Yeah, it's exactly 112, so there's 150. I know I'm going to need these, so give me those. I'm going to need the chemical plants sooner rather than later. And that will go and get those. And that will take care of that. Nice. Hmm. Oh, yeah. I hope that's painful for you, you little twits. So this is solid fuel, and I know that solid fuel is going to be a single loader. So I can just put this here. Now, rocket fuel is different because it doesn't have a loader, so I'm not going to use the standard header. But I can also see where I need some landfill, eh? I never noticed that this song has the term gender roles. Thought it was a more recent term. Well, seeing as I looked at it, let's go ahead and design solid fuel. So grab this, which I just put down over there, put it there. Grab the solid fuel, which is right here, top part. According to this, how much solid fuel do I need? Total of 10. I've got 1, so I need 8 more. I think I forgot the roboports on that other one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then the last one has to be this. Solid fuel is just a simple loader. So we're going to do a loader 2 here. And then I need 2 unloaders, but solid fuel is a liquid unloader as well. So I need a... Oh, it's only 1 unloader and a loader. Forgot about that. So we can get rid of this because this is an extra unloader. Now I have to leave those there because the RoboPort connection is important. So this is a fluid unloader. It goes like that. Now I'm redesigning these because I changed the width of my unloading stations and I made some adjustments. So I have some things I just have to redo. And in this case, I'm dealing with pipes. So I need to design it to work here, and then this is mirrored. I just need to flip it good. So if this is A, and A normally, and this is where things get a little bit of a sticky wicket of just, you know, do the easy thing, but I can't do that. It would be easier to put it right there, but I can't. So that looks neat, but because of the shift, because this is 21 wide and this is 20 wide, it moves slightly. And so now it's 2 there and only 1 there. And now these are straight on. And then these are not. And then for symmetry, and the goddess of symmetry will be satisfied. If you don't satisfy her, well, the plague happens. There we go. Now I need the stations. So I need a solid fuel loader. Hello, Milan. Can you show max zoom out map, please? See how a custom map looks like. Yes. Let me grab these two. This is a solid fuel loader. There's a solid fuel loader, and I need a light oil unloader. So the current map that I'm playing is just what I called Old World, which is Europe, Russia, China, Africa, and Australia, Oceania, including Indonesia. This is not the whole world. There is a version of this mod that you can select in the drop downs when you set it up where you can have the whole world. You'll get the Americas over there or the Americas over here, depending on how you set it up. You can also do just the Americas. If you go to the Milan, if you go to the mod portal, hit exclamation point COE there in the chat. It'll take you to the mod portal, and it has screenshots of all of the world layouts, all mapped out. Now, in my case, I made the map way larger than I needed to because I thought I would need a lot more resources and space than I do. This is, I think, size 3. I could have gone down to size 2, or I think this is size 4, and I could have gone to 2. Because the research is pretty massive, right? And I really should double this part of it. I should put another copy of this, like, right here. My server's a bit slow. So that should be there. So research is massive. But this is all it takes to launch 4 rockets. This is a 4-rocket silo complex. And by my calculations, these are all the resources it's going to need. I've tested it. It works. I don't know if it works fast enough. I don't know if my PC can handle the UPS. Well, it does support multiplayer, and it even supports a multiplayer co-op where you can just go to any city and do whatever you want, be on different teams, or you can play together. It is a fantastic way to play. It's a lot of fun. Mucky, the host who rated me, He's done one where they started in Australia and then went all the way to England. So they did a reverse colonization of the land, which was very much fun. Um, you can do it a lot of different ways. You can also there's a scenario setting. What am I missing here? Pumps. There's a scenario setting where you can tell it to pre-place the rocket silos in the cities, and the result is that you have, well, it becomes like a scenario. It's like a quest, is to find the rocket silo and secure it, and then launch rockets from it. All right, you can go away. Mucky has these. I think I needed more pumps, and I did not bring them. Ooh, you're quite empty. Yeehaw. Yippee-ki-yay, Christmas song is coming. Christmas movie. That was a pucker. All right. I sent you up here to clear that, and I want a little bit more cleared. I need to see this. Who are you? Your packs. I don't want either one of these to come in range of this stuff because I don't want them getting resupplied from here because it just would take up too much of my stuff. These guys, I can come down here and have them get unloaded here because they're just going to have a bunch of trees. I was working on solid fuel. Yes, yes. Uh, Too big. All right, so I screwed that up. That's what I was looking for. So this is the loader. And that's the unloader. So I need to grab these roboports. If I get rid of this, will this get built? Yep. All right, so then this is solid fuel. You get new date, new content. Needs power poles. No landfill, no landfill. This gets moved to here just on a whim. And you're done. Now, we're going to delete this and we're going to put the red circuits back down because I'm not sure I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get the robo ports in there. So then the red circuits get redone. Redone. Reha. No landfill. All right. Except for I chopped it. I missed the belt. Or a rail. All right, good. And then I delete this. Now I redid last night. I redid one of the refineries, so that's 1221. This is 1225 or 1215. So I did not redo that one. So I need to redo the cracking that gives me. I've got the cracking that gives me light oil. I need the cracking that gives me petrol gas, and that's this. Now, how many of those are there? It's just the two. Because it works pretty quickly. So then I'm just going to copy all of these because there's no header and tail. There's just this. Line this up here. Line this up here. And it's going to look a lot like the other one in terms of loading and unloading. So I'm just going to bring this one here. I'm going to do a big copy paste, and then I'm just going to replace the station names. So this should have the good name. Okay, so that's the red and that's the yellow. So I'm going to go and get yellow unloader. Milan, if you're still here, I have a Discord. If you get into questions where you're like, how do I do this on this mod? You can just ping me on Discord. And I'm happy to help. 20 seconds, select new contents. That is this. No landfill. Move this here as a marker that I've updated it. Save it. All right, so I've redone solid fuel, cracking, refining, red circuits, green circuits, copper cable, plastic. All right, you buggers are next. You guys are not fun. All right, so sulfur is going to be next. But before then, let's get some more stuff going on here. Nobody is complaining. You're also not done. This is the refinery. Then we immediately delete all of the. I am leaving the beacons off because they take a lot of power. And they take power whether they're doing something or not. Speaking of power, Italy is my chosen power place. for the large power. Iberian Peninsula, that is Spain and Portugal, and get the small power plants. Fennec designed this 2 gigawatt, or as Mucky would pronounce it, 2 gigawasp station. And per minute it generates 2 gigawasps. It uses 14 reactors, which is a monster. Now, apparently, Reach has a 6 gigawatt one that I couldn't figure out how to. He offered to let me use it, and it was too much for me. I need a lot of hand holding, so. So apparently I didn't do my job over here. Because I thought I had all this site prepped. But that appears to not be the case. Also, I don't have pumps down here. And that... I can research things. It's just that the only research I have set up to function is this research facility here, which would work. I mean, it's got all the sciences in it, and it would launch rockets if I let it. The challenge is that of the things I need, I mean, I'm not going to research any of the follower robot count until I have all 3 of my rocket silos up and going, because I'm just going to kick this off, and it's got to, once it gets to the infinite, it's just got to go. That's my test. Is can I get 3 hours of infinite follower robot count? Because it's the only one that uses all 7 sciences. But if I choose mining productivity, it's 50,000 for the next level, which should be fine. I'd rather have faster robots. But this whole complex, all of this, and I'm not going to select it because it would cause timeout, but if you can imagine this whole thing here, it runs off of these copper smelting and these iron smelting, iron steel. There's not enough capacity to run all 3 of these factories. This factory for infrastructure for what I'm doing now, this factory for research, and this factory for launching a rocket. I didn't build it big enough to run continuously because I don't plan on running it continuously. So I can either build an outpost or I can do research. I can't do both. Plus, I'm also, yeah. So, yes, but no. I thought I had already done this.